Hello?
Check, check.
Third. 1, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Where's my snare? Where's my snare?
Our man, we what?
Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is a sneak attack. We snuck up on you with that human condition type shit. You've heard me talk quite a bit about the iCans, the Sparkmans. I wanted to put faces to those names. A lot of you who know me know Garry, or you might know his son. You've probably seen their social media. It's been blowing up lately. And you all know my situation. So I was still fighting that court battle with the scumbags. And Garry showed up at an odd time. Garry and his son, and they were watching one of my videos on social media. And anyway,
I ain't never had a friend like me. I ain't never had a friend like me.
I know that. So, and sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. Always good. But what I realized though is that you've been not every pivotal moment, but whenever you've shown up, it's been pivotal moments in my life. Like where those first 2 times we went out and we did work, and then when building the legitimate company, when building the illegitimate company.
Yeah.
And then this time I came back and I was like, oh, I see what you're doing. You know what I mean? So I didn't have any plans.
Jesus, how far did we go back? I think it was 2002, 2001, 2002. Me and Vinny connected.
And Garry wound up. He had to go to a place where I thought many times I should be, but had to do some time in prison. You want to tell a little bit about your story?
Oh, jeez. I'm a father. Well, so just to let everybody know, like, I'm a father of 4. I'm a 5-time felon. I did 5 years in the penitentiary.
Or felonies and kids.
And I have 3 amazing boys and a beautiful daughter. It's her birthday today. So happy birthday to Christina. She just got engaged in the Netherlands, Amsterdam. Yeah. So
to your dad.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Somebody should ask for that hand. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I laid a smack down on his motherfucking ass.
This is the old values.
I'm just playing. So great guy. So father of 4, 3 boys and a girl. 2 of my oldest boys have cerebral palsy, spastic diplegia, and I used to look at. There was a time in my life when I was mad as hell at the world, at God. I used to ask a lot of questions like why me, and at about 42 years old, I figured out what humanity was all about, and I quit asking why, and I started to ask, what can I do? And, well, the iCan came from my grandpa. He's a World War II dog-faced soldier. God rest his soul. And some things happened. We were hunting one time, and I go, Grandpa, my gun jammed on my 410 bolt action he got me. It was my first gun, and I was like, hey, Grandpa, my gun's jammed, I can't get it. And he slapped me upside the head, and he's like, I'm a World War II dog-faced soldier. He goes, what's the last 4 letters of American, son? And I go, I don't know. He's like, slap me in that again. He goes, spells I can. Or he goes, it's ICAN. And I go, okay. He goes, and what's that spell, son? It was so fast. I'm like, I don't know. He goes, it spells I can. And he goes, don't you ever let me hear those words come out of your mouth again. And it just laid the foundation for me. And then we had Jesse in 1994, traumatic birth, wasn't breathing for like the first 5 or 6 minutes, pronounced dead. They brought him back to life, thank God. Down at Detroit Henry Ford.
So and then lost oxygen into his brain. I didn't know,
he came out at 4 pounds and a couple ounces, and after 10 months he wasn't walking, and we thought something might be wrong, and we had an appointment with a neurologist that ended up landing on his second birth, or his very first birthday, May 10th, 1995, and that's when we found out he had cerebral palsy. I did. Well, you were born in 94. Yeah, so on your first birthday. Yeah, so then...
Well, cerebral palsy, found out it had him.
Yeah, so, exactly. And the first thing that actually, popped into my head was what my grandpa instilled in me a long time ago, and it was iCan. And I the first thing I remember thinking is, I'm going to do everything I can to raise this boy to believe he can do anything he puts his mind to. And that's where it all started 29 years ago. He's about to be 30, May 10th. And the whole thing is my grandpa's birthday's May 9th. So, and I always wanted to name Jesse after my grandpa.
God.
And I just looked at it like, wow, he did everything he could do to get out on grandpa's birthday. Yeah, but going through the trials and the journey and the process, there was a time in my life when it was like, trust no one. And I actually raised my kids that way. And, duct tape's over. Silence is golden, and duct tape is over. And, it's not like that now. But when I figured out what humanity was all about, I realized, there was no way around the process. It was consistency, discipline, compounded daily over time equals transformation. And so for the last 11 years, I've been on the grind, putting in the work. I haven't had a felony since 2004. Yeah, so yeah, so it's a journey, it's a process, it's beautiful. Humanity's awesome. I look at life a lot different. I'm 53, and it's go time. So iCan everything is, it really is. It's about to, there's levels to this stuff,
Yeah.
And you already know, you came into my life at a real iconic time. I mean, the things I was doing was really symbolic. And, at 26 years old, I was making $150,000 a year legally, and I wanted to get out of the dope game. And I did. And then after we had Jakey in 98, I kind of threw in the towel, and I was doing designer drugs, and it gripped me and grabbed me, and it was like, yeah, so.
Designing you?
You know what I mean? I was like the iCan Calvin Klein man.
That's when you know you're a bad motherfucker. Is when you can take a class 1 controlled substance and have some designer.
Yeah.
God bless the gays.
But I knew, hey, one time, so in 1998, I was rolling through Detroit, hucking, bumping, Tupac, and I was bumping Dear Mama, and then the verse came on. One day you see the penitentiary, and God told me, he goes, you're going to prison, and I just remember thinking and saying, whatever your will is for me, just do not let me die in this addiction, and let me, leave a legacy, be a legend. And he pulled me out of everything.
Angelou, that's one of the most profound things I've ever heard. Is one of the worst things is to die with a story left untold. Because I think that's really the fear of death, is because we don't know when it's coming. Yeah. We act like we do. We act like we can plan. Men plan, God laughs. But
man makes plans, God laughs. Les Brown.
We don't know. So the real fear is that we haven't done what the fuck we're supposed to do. You know what I mean? That's really the real fear, is like, deep down we know there's more left in us, and we haven't told who we are yet. We've been living this lie, this manufactured lie. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but we've been indoctrinated to believe that we're stuck in these 5 senses, and he's living proof that we're not. The reasons I stayed, because this wasn't the plan. I was going to stay a couple days and then get to the Airbnb. A freak occurrence. On the day you were helping me move to that place, a check the morning of gets put on a second hold for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
No reason. Like, I had that customer saying, you know what I mean? Like, it was the weirdest shit ever. So for another week. And then I got here that night and talked to, I think it was that night, I talked to you for like 3 hours. And so immediately my perception on, because I've never.
Wasn't that weren't the Lions playing that day, or was it the day?
It was the next day, I think.
The day before the Lions. And it's really funny as God, uses Jesse iCan Sparkman in a very instrumental way. He always has, always will. And I was just.
Oh, when you showed up in my room?
Yeah, well, he showed up. Yeah.
Showing up.
Yeah, and Jesse was watching it, and he's like, Dad, he goes, I love Vinny. He's like, this fucking guy's so funny. And I'm like, I go, let me see what the fuck's he talking about. And I grabbed the phone and I'm like, I'm going to call him real quick. And I called you up and, because I move differently today. I move spiritually. I move and it's all about the moments. And I just let God guide me. And it's really, I call them holy moments. And that was one of them, on your behalf. And mine too.
So it really was divine intervention, because he says by chance watching it. That's never had. I had been in 2 other extended stay hotels. They just kick you the fuck out. They don't care.
Yeah,
they're mercenaries there. They're by noon. So there's no questions asked. It didn't matter that I had an apartment, so I was expecting to get kicked out.
Yeah.
When you called, I had the police had just sided with me. They said, "Well, you paid. They're going to have to deal with Expedia."
Yeah.
I said, "Fuck you, motherfuckers." So I was like, "Come on down, celebrate." And you just happened to call. I was like, "Let's watch the game." You came, we watched the game, and then you started talking about your stuff. And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds similar." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was really a pivotal moment, and it also works like this. Like, I don't think that anybody gets to the next level without some sort of betrayal in their life.
Your face is kind of angled off. People are going to want to see you sometimes.
Yeah. All right. So the pivotal moments where you're, I don't know if anybody really makes it to the next level, without some sort of betrayal in their life and what you do with that betrayal. You can go to the left or to the right, or you can stay fully focused on the cause, on the mission, on the process and the purpose, and thank God, I had so many hours of doing the right thing under my belt that nothing could sidetrack, what's going down right now.
Well, me too, because but I resisted like a motherfucker. You're like, yeah, just stay at my place for a couple of days. And I want to be in the Airbnb, because my ego's telling me I got to get back with the schedule. And that's great. But the kids are there. You know what I mean? And I'm just thinking, I'm just pissed. I'm really just pissed. And it's my ego. I wanted that now. I wanted to be in there now. But the ego never wants what you should have. Like, that's what I've realized. Like, the ego always wants. It's not what's. It seems like it's what's good for you on this planet, right? Because it's an egocentric planet. We're tricked. It really is. We come out and we cry. We're given food. You know what I mean? So there's somebody to tend to us. We can't do anything.
Well, think about it. Yeah, I know. And
then we have to break that.
Yeah.
And then our parents who knew way less than we did.
Yeah.
And then
did the best.
They didn't know anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did
the best they could.
Well, yeah, with what they had to work with.
Watching animals. Well, they do that. Maybe. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
So and then here we are with all this information, and we're about to destroy this motherfucker.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Dude, tomorrow's going to be iconic. Every day's been iconic. We've got it's right around the corner. The iCan Everything movement is real. I can twist. I can twist it so many different ways. I'm the iCan man, cultivating a nation to move against negativity. iCan Everything, the iCan music man. iCan Sparkman. Yeah, it's I'm the captain, Coach iCan.
The captain.
At it again.
Let's go. Man. I just want to apologize. I'm not kind of apologizing. We snuck this up on you, but we're so everyone knows we're in Garry's basement.
Hey, when you're in the basement, guess what? There's nowhere else to go but
That's right. That's true. So as soon as this is
all the way up.
like the Jeffersons. But you know, it's true though. I mean, I like that because now I won't resist going to the bathroom.
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, think about like where we came from, Vince, 2002. Like, think about when we made the trip out to Cali. Like, I had 60,000. So I started my own business called Choice Machinery, and I grinded it out there. Although the business didn't succeed, it didn't fail either because everything's a learning process. And I hit a good one, and I made $60,000 on a couple machines, but I just wasn't really ready for that at that time, and the industry went completely sideways automotive wise, and what happened? I went back to what I learned as a teenager, at a very young age. My parents smoked marijuana every day of my life. Their friends were all drug addicts, and I went back to those types of roots, and I started slinging weed again, and then we ended up making that trip. You were very inspirational. You had a lot of, like, Vinny, I swear to God, is probably the smartest guy I know. He can really, really put some things together that are, educationally. Didn't you go to college?
Yeah, and I was too good for that shit. No, I did. Yeah. But I went for, it's part of the whole thing. My counselor, she asked, on career day, what do you want to be? I said an astronaut. I was serious, dead fucking serious. I had a thing for physics, and I loved astronomy, and I wanted to be a fucking astronaut. So she said, well, how are you going to make money doing that? And I said, well, I don't know. That's a good question, but that's what I want to do, because it wasn't about the money. I'm hustling by now, right? And I'm having limos show up in 10th grade to pick me and my friends up to take us home because I couldn't find a ride, like baller style and shit. Yeah. But, that broke on a budget. But that's what I would do, So I knew what money was, but I was still driven by this. That's what I wanted to do. And she said, she asked a good question. I said, I don't know. She said, well, the way you speak, she said, you'd make an amazing attorney. She said, but that's 8 years of school. She said, you could go straight out to New York to get a 2-year associate's even, and then go straight out to New York and enter a 6-figure job right away. And I was like, and I think Wall Street wasn't that far off, the movie with Michael Douglas. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. So I majored in finance and international business, and I wound up at Northern. That's how I wound up getting but then I was debating with these college professors my freshman year. I'm like, these numbers are fake. Because, in the streets, like, there's real money. It's real. You have that money or you don't. You know what I mean? You keep that promise or you don't. You know what I mean? I would much rather deal with street lenders than deal with these dickhead banks. You know what I mean? This is your integrity. Your integrity really will guide you through everything. Like, if you just stick to a certain set of rules, which
ethics and integrity for me today.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I didn't go to prison. You know what I mean? I could have there were several times where I could have, I didn't. And then I don't know if that's the only reason, but I think because, there's so many close calls where I didn't want to undercut my friends. So I said, no, I'm not going to take your number. And then the whole fucking, the whole part of that state goes down. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. So here's what I'll say. The only thing that makes me, I guess, smart is that it's not really smart. It's that I was grounded. I had a love for life that always pulled me back from wanting to escape. So I've had my bouts with fucking substances, but it really went. It was with the PTSD pattern. I didn't know that. I didn't know what was going on. But
I'm surprised I don't have that.
You do.
I don't think so.
You do, but he doesn't. And that I mean, I'm not a fucking, but I know my condition well. Yeah. And he doesn't. So for him not to, because speaking on Jesse now, his condition, if you haven't seen Jesse, he walks with canes.
Jesse iCan Sparkman, a.k.a. Sticks.
So from a
Slow as Christmas.
sit him and think you need to baby talk him. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let me help you. Let me.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, but even still though, it's so when I talked to him that night, it just I'm in a place right now where I'm ready to be changed on everything. Like I'm always ready to be challenged. I'm always looking for new, and that's what inspired me. That's why I stayed, because I was like, the energy. I was like, there's something happening here that I think I need to stick around for. I'm going to push my stuff off for a second, and not really, because I'm still going to court, but it allowed me to do the court thing and be close to the kids, and then he's about to blow up, you know. A Jesse Proof video, but Jesse, a little bit about yourself.
So, for those of you that don't know, my name is Jesse iCan Sparkman, and I was born with cerebral palsy. And I've done a lot of things. I've done TED Talks. I've done
Sure it is.
some music.
Oh,
I've boxed for street beefs. And I've done a lot of things. But my number one...
you've been to Poland. We took you to Poland for therapy.
therapy.
So we took him twice.
That was the best therapy I ever got.
Yeah, 4 years old, we ended up taking. Yeah, we took Jesse to. Well, like, you know, I always tell people, because I'm in the gym industry now, I'm Coach iCan, and it's everything extreme, right? But I always tell, like, my new clients or new members or possible new members, like, hey, you know, I do this little birth certificate thing with them, and I'm like, you know, what do you think I would do if I had the cure for cerebral palsy? How do you think I would act? Like, people think I'm kind of crazy right now, but, like, how do you think I would act if I had the cure for cerebral palsy, having to...
You'd mark it up for 6,000% profit.
Yeah, right. Right. I mean, I'd be on fucking corners with a fucking cardboard box, twirling it around butt naked, be like... But, you know what? The reality of it is I don't, and what's really cool is when you can really accept, you know, your life and then do whatever you can to make it, you know, the best that you could possibly make it. Yeah. So.
And just for me, like me having like cerebral palsy, I think of it as like a superpower type.
Yeah, it really is.
Only if you overcome the mindset, right?
Like I love when like little kids come up to me and they be like, "What's those?" Because they see the sticks, right? And they don't know what they are.
It didn't just.
Oh, yeah.
That's great, kid. I tell them all the time.
Oh, there was a time when it was like, it would get kind of like, I would be angry, people staring. I'd be like, you looking at, you know, and then, you know, I had a couple big guys from the gym, like, staring at us one day, and I'm like, bro, is there a fucking, like, problem? And he's like, no, like, the guy was like, dude, I was laying in bed, and all I could see was Jesse rolling those dumbbells, crawling on the floor, rolling the dumbbells over, and I just thought, if that motherfucker can get up or crawl on the floor with those dumbbells, I'm going to get my fat ass up and get my butt to the gym. And he showed up. And that moment there changed a lot of my perception on it, right? And it was really, really strange, because when I went to prison, the only therapy that I had was the weight pit. And I was hitting 2-a-days, and I ended up, you know, when I came out, I was a monster, 250, deadlifting 5+, squatting 5+, benching almost 400. And Jesse really, really, really fed into that, and he loved it. And now I'm the athletic director of, you know, I've been in the gym industry going on 7 years now, and I took one company from a failing gym with $200,000 a year to 3 locations, 1.8, almost $2 million a year, and then got it kind of right in the booper on that. Yeah,
Screwed him on his partnership.
Yeah.
I just happened. I was going through something similar, and I was able to.
Yeah, it's funny.
Nice things.
Yeah, and then it was supposed to be like my best boy or whatever. You know, and I don't know, but you know, everything, you know, always comes to the light, and I'm very, very aware, and I know people, and when it was just the timing, you know, and God don't do things to you, he does things for you, and thank God I've got that and I got so embedded in my, ingrained in me. But yeah, I just think like, I remember, it was May. Jesse's birthday is really, really strange to me too, being May 10th. Nelson Mandela was, he was the first South African, president, black president, and Jesse was born on May 10th, 1994. A, B.
Maria.
Yeah, and then B, when I rode out to Jackson, they said I wasn't going to be leaving for like 90 days, and the only time I got to see Jesse was on a little visits, and I was supposed to, it was his birthday in 2005, and that's the day that I ended up riding out to Jackson, and I lost it, and I fucking went nuts. They said, "Oh, you're going to level 5. You're fucking crazy," and I was then, and then I wouldn't admit guilt. I went to trial. I lost. Went the distance. My boy, Crazy Chris, was with me. Yeah, shout out to Crazy Chris, because he stood tall, and he went to trial with me, and he could have turned his back on me, and he didn't. And so he'll always have a special place in my heart. So, yeah. Then so I wouldn't admit guilt. I had to take this assault offenders program, and they forced me into like saying things that I really didn't want to say. But I mean, what I did was wrong, but what they did to me was like 10 times worse. So I really had a problem with the authority part of that. And I ended up getting into the assault offenders program late, and I didn't get out, so that I got out of prison late. And when I got out, it was one day after my 39th birthday, December 2nd. And then it took me 2 years to shake the cobwebs, and then I ended up going back one time. And
what day was that video we just watched where I got you, I hooked you up at Unity?
Oh, yeah. And then, so it took me a few years to shake the cobwebs there, blah, blah, blah. Some other things happened, and I don't know, my rock bottom was, I think, 2015, and I ended up surrendering and humbling myself, and I moved back to my parents' house in the basement in Goodrich, because the streets kind of got a hold of me again, and that was it, and that's how I pulled myself out of the trenches. And then in 2019 is when I gave the testimony with, I think 2018. It was 2000. No, actually, it was the.
You were on that video, December 2nd. I thought it was.
No, it was January 31st. It was New Year's Eve.
No, I'm talking about the video you sent where you and Ray snuck into the church.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that one. Oh, yeah. When I go, oh, my God, I look like Jerry Lee Lewis. Yeah, the Jerry Lee Lewis. I would do all, because I just always do I just keep practicing, practice. And, I haul around these special needs kids everywhere. And
it really literally hauls.
Yeah.
Ray, you got to pick it. He clings to you, so you set him in the car. And
they know the movements and everything. So. Yeah, so December 2nd did the testimony, and started off a New Year's.
Hold on, so you snuck into the church, but you did your...
Yeah, I did the testimony thing on the 31st, and that was really freaking cool, too, because...
It was very powerful.
I mean, this was always hard for me to say, because in my, everybody turned their back on me because what the papers read, they said high-speed chase, drug deal gone bad, cop got shot, don't know who pulled the trigger, and that is not what happened. It was a low-speed chase. I did punch the kid in the face because he was a little rat, and I was pulling over for protection at 6 Mile and Woodward, and they ran into my car, flipped it around, pulled me out, and put me in handcuffs, started pistol whipping me really, 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 really bad, and unfortunately, the cop's gun went off and he shot himself in the leg. And that one was really, really hard for me to overcome until I gave my testimony. And after I gave my testimony with you at that Renaissance, and then as soon as Jesse and I pulled out, God goes, I'm the potter, you are my clay, and just like it's my hands that are molding you into the man you are today, it was my hands that was guiding the bullet that severed the police officer's leg, and not yours. And
Shout out to God for that.
And he said, you're not guilty. And I had to pull over for, I think I was engulfed in the Holy Spirit for a couple of hours. I couldn't even drive. But that was very, because my grandpa being a World War II dog-faced soldier, my dad's an electric strawberry, military, and then that kind of stuff was very hard for me to accept and overcome, and being like the black sheep or whatever they say. And but that moment there was another victory release for me that helped me get through some of those things that could take you out and beat you up, and not, be able to overcome and forgive yourself, So I started to like who I was. I started to believe in who I was, and then I started to love who I was. And
No, he can't keep his hands off himself. Yeah.
So, and I do. I've made amends with. I don't have a problem with. I love our law enforcement. Yeah.
Shout out to the men.
There's no hard feelings, and if I ever did have opportunity to make amends with the one that, and I know all the names, I'm not going to say any of them, but no hard feelings on my part. I did change my life, and I do feel bad that happened, and I hope that someday, maybe they're feeling the same way, and they want to meet with me. I don't know, yeah. And I think they probably have, because it's a tough job. We were like, I was an idiot. That lifestyle I was living,
pistol whip them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah. So
that's where you might have deserved that bullet. You know what I mean? Like that's going to happen. We're all fucking being stupid. Let's take our lumps and move on.
Yeah. So, and that's what I did, and but I got into the car industry, probably around 2015, and that really helped me rebuild my confidence.
And that's helped me. So the ebb and flow of where we come into each other's lives. So like when I had to get out of that business, somebody tried to set me up, and I was like, I'm done. I told my partner, I said, you keep it. I want. And I did Life Goes On. That's when I did Life Goes On, and I went that route. Just said I'm focusing on that.
Yeah.
You went the Biggs route. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I was out of that picture, and then so this is the egoic thing. So when we hooked back up again, you sold me the truck.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. So I was in the car industry. Yeah.
So this is what's ironic is that. You might not think of that as the egoic world. I thought it was legitimate. That's the legitimate world. So I'm going to do it all by the book. And I did it all by the book, and then these scumbags stole it. So, you know what I mean? So I was going down this path it was really not the right one. It was right because I got to learn how to beat insurance companies. It led me towards the movement. It led me here.
Yeah.
But spiritually, it was money. Right? It was money driven. But it wasn't for me. Like maybe it wasn't the wrong path, because it really was about what I said it was. And then when the money started coming in big time, the people who can't do for themselves stole, right? So I guess it was the right path for me. It's just what you said, like that betrayal shit. It's necessary. Like you got to experience it, because I have problems asking for help. Like when you offered your place, I knew it made more sense, but I just couldn't picture myself being in someone. You know what I mean? In space, I've invaded someone's space like that, and then whatever God is, whatever that force is up there, it said, no,
that's Jesus.
You better get your ass in there.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I like to call him Jesus. State.
I know. That's why that's why Vinny's here. He just,
Hey, Jaden here.
No, I am Jesus. The light just went off. I go, Jesus, turn the light off if you're here. He did. Yeah.
Jesus, take the wheel.
And just so everyone knows, I'm God's favorite.
Next to me.
So
Good answer.
So all paths led. Like we can tell. Well, we will tell that story. These intersecting stories.
It really is, because when I was doing the cars, right, I just knew I wasn't in my purpose right then, right. So I started to sell cars, and then I ended up winning the walk around challenge, the Pacific Chrysler walk around challenge, and that was a really great feeling, and that really just built my confidence. And then, but there was something like,
what was it? The Pacific reach around trip?
Yeah, the reach around and Dirty Sanchez or a Houdini, hit him with a Houdini. But yeah, right. I think Jesse got hit with the Houdini once. But yeah, that really built my confidence, and I ended up I was out at Mount Zion, and so then it was so weird. I was at Melash Palace, and I got locked up in 1997, and I had to go to this program called CPI in Waterford, and the counselor that was there was just like 2 years older than me. And I just couldn't relate to him because he was so book smart, and he just didn't experience any of the things that I experienced on the streets. And all of a sudden I'm walking across the showroom floor, and then boom, we bumped into each other. And I go, "Hey, Mr. Graham, a long time no see." And he goes, "Who are you?" I go, "Oh shit, these guys don't know that I got all these felonies. If they find out, I'm going to lose my job." And he just followed me, and he came to he's like, "Who are you? What's your name?" And I go, "Look, bro," I go, like, I just got out of prison not too long ago. I'm trying to rebuild my life. And I go, "You can't tell anybody anything." He goes, "I ain't saying anything." And so I told him a little story, and we talked for a minute. He ended up leaving. The next week he came back. We ended up talking for an hour, and then he came back a third week. We ended up talking for 2 hours while I'm selling cars, And then he was still at the same place, CPI in Waterford, behind 21st Century Bowling Alley. And he goes, "Garry, would you mind coming and sharing your story with the parolees and the probationers and that?" And I was like, "What? Really?" And I said I'd be honored. It was crazy. Yeah, so I did. So I ended up going to speak there, and then, some absorbed what I was saying, and some were, hardcore. But at the end, because I was nervous, blah, blah, blah. But after I gave my little testimony there, right at the end, the guy stands up, and I was sharing about, because I got Sparky on my back for my grandpa. I didn't know if he was going to make it while I was in there. So I wanted to do something to honor him. And so I got him tatted on my back. I got Fueled by Faith tatted on this arm. And then I got Only the Strong Survive over here. And the fucking guy in the back stands up, and he goes, "Sparks." That's what they called me in there. He goes, "I'm the motherfucker that did his tattoos." And he goes, "It's my first day out." And this was 5 years after I got out of it was probably, it was almost 5 years after I got out of the joint. So that just let me know that I was in alignment, moving spiritually. And and me and the counselor ended up, we're like really, really close. And I just messaged him the other day. So he wants to get together again so I can go speak to the guys. So give back. It's all about service. For me, it's service. Service, if I do something every single day for somebody that's just a little less fortunate than me. And it's really been life-changing.
Well, I mean...
And if I have a really, really, really super, bad day or whatever, I can always come home and kick it with Jesse and Jakey, and that's always but that's an everyday thing. This is normal for me, and like you, Vinny, it's hard for me to ask for help. I like to give,
Yeah.
I don't asking for help is, it's just, people are like, yeah, but people are always like, I don't know how you do it. Well, we're creatures of habit. We adapt to our situations. You don't know how strong you are until strong's all you got to go to. You know what I mean?
that's so the universe is reciprocal. And I realized through this was the last stronghold that it had on my ego, is that somebody called me out. They said, when I was losing the house and everything, they said, you have no problem bashing yourself, just saying where you came from. You're very honest. You have no problem putting other people out there on Front Street. You have no problem, like everything, but you won't ask for help when you need it. Like, so, and I realized that's ego, right? That's
edging God out.
Why would you not? Like, so I put that GoFundMe out, not because I thought it would do anything major, but it did. What it did was it brought people around. Like, people saw that I actually needed help. And then I started remembering the life of integrity. When you say it, and then somebody fucks you over like that, then there's like the old shame that starts to bubble back. Now, it didn't hit me completely, but it made it unbelievable that these fucking idiots would do that shit. And so I'm like, in this space, the same space you were in, like, how could it possibly be? Like, but I realized that through this, like, I hadn't even I hadn't given my kids the opportunity to help me. Like, I was too busy being a superhero. So, like, I was with my son saying one day, I was like, yeah, you're going to take the company over one day, blah, blah, blah. And he says, I can't run a company. And I saw that he was having some self-esteem problems. And he's very clever because he admits them and doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like, he has a grasp on himself. But still, I was like, where does that come from? And I was like, I never challenged him. I never, because I never asked for help. And through this, my daughter got to see me cry and she'd come over, you know what I mean? Like, they were superheroes to me through this. And without, it's reciprocal. And it was Garry Warson, actually, at Unity. Just quick thing. Sparky is the guy who wrote me in.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I remember Sparky. When you built that house for him, didn't you?
But, yeah. And he died before...
Before it finished? Yeah, but still, yeah.
It's whatever. But
he died knowing, yeah. Yeah, he was. I love Sparky. And he had a special spot for him.
I know he's guiding up there right now.
Oh, yeah.
Got that Sparky.
We got so many different, like, generational warriors.
You got to spark and this you mustn't lose.
But I realized that I wasn't giving them, I wasn't challenging them, and Garry Warson at the church, he was the first person, before I even did the GoFundMe, he said, you're selling your stuff? Here, what's your PayPal? And he sent me, I was like, and then I tried to make it transactional like I do. I can't wait to pay you back. He said, no, I said, this is no strings attached. I don't want to hear about it again. He said, this is a brother helping a brother as best I can. And I learned right there the value of what it is to be, you can be selfless, selfful, or selfish. So selfish, obviously we know what it is. Selfless, that's no good. If you're always giving, you can't give to yourself, and then you diminish over time. It's entropy.
We could call this we should be on HBO. We could call it "Help a Brother Out."
Help his brother.
Help a brother out. Yeah, help a brother out.
We were forced into it, and then we're like, all right, we'll do this shit. We listened to Spirit, and it was it's. But we talked enough about our fucking problem.
Well, no, when it really started to change for me, Jesse's mom, we went through some really challenging times, and we're like really, really cool right now. Like we're like she's probably the toughest.
Make that claim.
Yeah, she's No, like she's probably the most solid chick. Warrior.
Sorry, we didn't let you know this was coming.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
Drop the link tomorrow.
Well, she's still got me blocked on Facebook, so no, I don't think she knows because we're really, really cool, and it took her a long time to trust me too, and like I said, the consistency compounded over time. Time will heal everything, and she forgave me. Christina forgave me. Joseph, Jakey. And there's still a lot more that it's going to be revealed, but she got Jesse and Jakey into this music program with the D-Man Foundation, and shout out to D-Man, right, for, putting that all together, because it was also life-changing. Jesse's wrestling was life-changing with Greg Mayer, and then that music, and I was still on my knuckles when she got him into that, and why I say music is therapy, because there was so many times that I didn't have anything to run to, but Jesse made a CD called Life Without Limits, and when I was feeling my funkiest and I just wanted to run and isolate and be depressed and those kind of things, I would pop that CD in, and it's like prophetic, and it really helped heal a lot of my wounds. But the way Jesse started out, he started to do these YouTube daily 16s, and he used to rap like iCan Sam, man, and 2 eggs and green eggs and ham. Yeah, he was ice. Yeah.
For me, it was like, so I don't know how to read or I don't know how to write, but I saw this dude on YouTube do this thing. It's called Daily 16s, and I had no recollection of how to count bars or nothing. I just thought it was a cool thing to do, and I started getting on YouTube every day, and I started doing it, and through that, I perfected my craft through doing it. And then we linked up with the D-Man Foundation, and I got my first album called Life Without Limits, which is freaking amazing. And
tell us what you really feel.
The music has always been like a therapy for me. And like one time I was talking to my dad, and he said that my music changed his life. And I thought, if I could do that for my dad, imagine the amount of people I could do that for. So that's why I go so hard with everything that I do. When I do this music, that's what I think about. I think about the amount of people's lives that I can change. It's not, because once you do something for others, that's when your purpose really starts.
Yeah, it sure does. Like Jesse, the music and the gym, the music and the muscle, that's our hustle.
Oh, big time.
And Jesse's been going solid in the gym for 8 years. He goes 4 to 6 times a week. He's getting ready to do a bodybuilding show.
Shout out to Keith. He's training me for it. You know what I'm saying?
But now that we plug Jesse in with New Life Marco.
Yeah, shout out to Marco too.
I mean, that's our guy. Like,
I love that guy.
Jesse, him and Jakey, I mean, their music is, I mean, it's iconic.
Sure. Shout out to my boy Dice Walker.
Dice Walker. Oh, yeah. Can't Bring Me Down. That's about to drop March 26th. On his birthday, he's dropping it. It's his first one. I mean, every time I heard that song for the first 100 times, I cried like a baby.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Every time.
Because it's like, we're doing the iCan, right? And then he comes out with the Can't Bring Me Down. So Can't Bring Me Down, iCan, right? And he just, the way we're twisting it, it's just, when you guys really hear the music like Jesse Proof, Sticks, the iCan anthem.
Dude, it's crazy.
Dude, it's like...
You can look me up at all platforms, Jesse iCan Sparkman, you know what I'm saying?
Jesse iCan Instagram. If I can, Sparkman. If I can, you can.
Well, and check out the iCan man too, and check out my boys in your social YouTube.
You guys can't get rid of my fucking ass. I'm gonna keep coming back whether you want me or not.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep yapping. Some people seem to like it. But yeah. So it's really hard to make excuses when you're around Jesse, because we can talk about the stints in our life that went, the days that we had that are bad. But from our perspective, and this is where I've really started to take in, because we were talking about experience. You said, I don't think I could do that. I'm like, well, you probably could, because you don't know. We really genuinely don't know what it's like to be in another person's shoes. Like, it helps me understand race and, these divides that we think we have between us. You start to understand that experientially, we don't know what that is.
No.
Like, so he to his condition, well, he settled into that at some point, right? Like, he's not bitching about it every day. He's doing better. He's happier than a lot of motherfuckers.
I swear to God on everything. Jesse's got mad stuff like that, but I've never, not once in 30 years, 29 years, 30, made I've never heard Jesse complain, ever. He just keeps going, and that is, it's the biggest inspiration for me, and even being like 53 years old, I tell him, I go, you're not going to outwork me, Jesse, and he's very hard to keep up with, because there's no stopping the teacher, can't stop. I can't, Jesse, Sparkman.
No, I don't think there's any limits, and I think it's when I get inspired by anything, I go in.
Yeah, and you were through a lot of it and didn't really, I always kept it under the wraps. I didn't want to really come out and tell the story, because the time, I'm really big on the timing, and I really, and I came down here and it was spur of the moment, and it's just that time. It's time to launch. It's time to uplift, edify, and show the world, right? Cultivate in the nation.
Take the trash out.
Yeah.
The trash out and move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we're not holding them accountable.
Well, no, and
trash out.
Yeah, but we've got so many different allies in our corner right now, and so many people that are stepping up to the plate. And
where do you see this Jesse proof? The Chappelle shit.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle, man.
He doesn't know what he's got coming.
I'm telling you, he just did this skit. You guys should go check it out. It's freaking fun.
His new The Closer.
Well, yeah. Then Jesse's got 3 music videos out. He's got New Life, which was really, really cool, because 6 years ago we made that song, but we didn't drop it until probably about a year ago. And what's funny is he even played it at this church, and we're going at them too. And then that, I always go, because everything that I've been through, I go, I don't care if you're a congressman, I don't care if you're a correction officer, I don't care if you're a court official, I don't care if you're a cop, and I definitely don't give a care if you're a Christian, because now I got questions, and if you're living some sort of way that isn't in alignment with what I know is right, then then we're gonna put it out there, and we're gonna talk about it. We're not gonna and we're gonna talk the truth.
Yeah, God got his armor on us. We ain't afraid.
Yeah.
I wrote this little. I like to quote Shakespeare on occasion. So I'm writing this letter to the shitbags.
Yeah.
And, I said, shit, something taken from the Romeo and Juliet. I said, shit, were shit called by another name would sell just like shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
If it smells like shit, it's shit. Yeah. You want to be king shit on Turd Mountain.
And that's my whole thing, too, with this whole experience that we're going through right now. With me, I've always been connected to, God, or wherever people would call it, but I think it's God. But, for me, going through this whole experience, I feel like I'm getting more connected to him, because you got to lean on.
I mean, I honestly don't think there's many more that, we're all connected the same, but Jesse's just, it's a little different with him.
Well, I think it's, if you don't take the victim route and you're basically victimized, you know what I mean? From our perspective, from an able-bodied perspective, you would have to be hypervigilant. Kids are dicks, you know what I mean? People say, people they don't fucking think outside of their own experience. They're not. Nobody's trained that way yet.
Yeah.
So they just say shitty things, and to have to live every day. It's like Lanice said in one of our when I was delving into racism. She said, "I can't take my black skin off," and I thought about that. I was like, that's true. Every day, that's your experience. So you never know the plethora of people out there that might have fucking shitty opinions. Yeah. So he's had to deal with that his entire life. So I that's why I like getting in deep conversations and asking him, how do you relate to life? How does, you don't let it affect you. You keep going, you power through it. But but how do you use that for fuel instead of letting it make you feel like a victim? And that, because a lot of people do go in, and you can't blame them for falling into victim mindset. You know what I mean? Because it's not
because a lot of people, they don't understand. If you're not in the situation, you don't understand what it's like to be in the situation. And I don't mind if people come up to me and ask me questions. You know what I'm saying? If you got questions, ask me.
It's like you don't know what you got going on. Like, oh, no. Wait, I have what?
Because it's like, what are you talking? For me, it's just like an everyday thing. It's just like, I don't even, like, I know I'm an inspiration to a lot of people, but
you're just getting by.
I just live my everyday life, and I appreciate that people are inspired by what I do, and I appreciate that people love me for who I am, and I appreciate those things, but I don't look at it like that. This is just everyday life to me. So when people see the sticks and they're inspired, I appreciate those things, but this is just my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? The iCan everything movement is really like how I get through things, because I don't let anybody tell me I can't do something. If you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to show you that I can do it.
Jesse gets ballsy with the cerebral palsy.
Ballsy with the cerebral
palsy. Jesse getting ballsy with the
people who stole my company from me.
He'll pull one of them sticks out. Fucking, he's got buckshot in that bitch. He's like, motherfucker.
Word. Yeah. Wait for Jesse Proof this fucking video, man.
Oh my God. Well, hey, we got Hustle and Muscle coming out soon. We got Jesse Proof. Hustle and Muscle's like, so we were like, I do everything I can to put Jesse in positions to win, and the universe opened up, and I had a situation go down with CT Fletcher, CT Sampson, Midwest Kong, TD Smash, Julius Maddox, Keith Watkins, Victory Jim. All these things happened, but one night I came home and my phone rang, and it was Samson Fletcher, CT's son, and me and Jesse were kind of like starstruck, and he wanted me to be the supplement supplier for the Sidewalk Cracker, and I was just like geeked out. And then when I took it back to my people, they were like, we don't want anything to do with that. I was like, what? And then something really
the people who were stealing it.
Yeah, and then I ended up. They told me I had to go on a week vacation or something. I'm like, what? It was really kind of strange, and I'm just watching the moves go down, and I'm in Cedar Point, and something very, very spiritual happened to me. I told my daughter I was probably gonna go to California. I just haven't heard the word from God yet, and then I remember my daughter going, "Dad, do you want me to order the tickets? I can get them for $400 right now." I go, "Not yet, babe." I go, I just haven't heard yet. And then I haven't been on social media for a minute, and then for some reason I popped on social media, and Ryan Stewman, hardcore closer, was he shared something about Jessie Lee Boss, this phenomenal female who I just loved watching. The things that she did was like, just, I don't know. I just had this weird feeling like me and her were going to meet someday, and we were going to connect and do some big shit together. And he shared that she passed away, and it was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. There's no, like, I couldn't believe it. And that's when God said, order the tickets. You don't have many chances in life, and this is your time. And so I go, sis, order the tickets. I'm going to California, me and Jesse. She goes, they're $700 a piece right now. I go, order the fucking tickets. And then it ended up, like, when we went out there, it wasn't even about a business transaction or anything. It was about a workout, and it was about connection, and it was about networking, and we ended up, like, I don't know, kind of connected, and it was like they were fucking family. Yeah, right. Yeah, and then just recently, some more miracles just keep falling into our lap, and we're getting ready to do this. It's getting really strange because, then all of a sudden, one of my boys from the Juggernauts Foundation, it's an anti-bullying foundation, we did a fundraiser for him. Trick got involved. It was really, really cool.
When they checked Garry out, they pushed these kids out of the gym too?
Yeah, and then they ended up. So then I connected Juggernauts with the gym, and then the gym promised them certain things, and that fell through, and they kind of turned their backs on him on that too. And then so me and Rob reconnected. I'm at another gym in Chesterfield, Extreme. It's Extreme everything when it comes to health, fitness, doing the right thing, and yeah, and all of a sudden Rob's right hand man, Abdul, he called me and he goes, "I'm going to pop up to the gym." He popped up to the gym, and it was fucking so weird. He goes, "Sparks," he goes, Julius Maddox is my first cousin. I go, "Shut the fuck up." You know what I mean? I'm like, he's like, "I swear to God, I'll call him right now." He fucking called him, and Julius answers the phone. I'm like, dude, this is so crazy, because we just ended up doing a fundraiser with Victory Gym out in Wyandotte, and C.T. Fletcher was there, Midwest Kong, TD Smash, but Julius had something else going on, so he wasn't able to make that event. And they brought Jesse. They substituted Jesse in his place. It was really cool, and he was on the panel. So that was like the kickoff, and everything we're saying is like, we're going to turn Macomb or Michigan into the mecca for muscle and fitness. We're going to turn Macomb, Michigan into the mecca for music therapy, and we're mixing music with muscle. That's our hustle.
Big.
And then we got a big meeting tomorrow. Rob's going to be there. Bob, Jack, you, me, and we're going to start
at the Golden Bud Hole.
Yeah, right. But you got to enter in the rear.
McCall really got a the answer.
Yeah. You got to enter in the rear, the back door. I mean the back door.
Like so somebody was commissioned for that. That was family, and they just do a circle.
It was So like I'm just looking at all the pieces of the puzzle of the process, and it's all being perfected, and it's and God told me the other day, he goes, "This is checkers, not chess." And he goes, "I'm 2 steps ahead of you." So I'm just marinating in the madness, and
isn't it crazy that everything we talked about is starting to come to fruition?
Yeah, it is, but it isn't, because it's the magic of believing. That's one of my books that I relied on. I shout out to some of the mentors, Tony Robbins back in 1993 about his whole cassette tape. I've been on this journey for 35 years.
What about mentors is, at a certain point, if you're a change maker, you will. It's a painful thing when you bypass them. You move beyond them, because you see that a lot of the luminaries, they're luminaries. They still do a service, but they. If you're not experiencing discomfort, almost daily, because everyone here is indoctrinated.
Yeah,
they believe that the 5 senses is where it all ends. That's where Jesse has an advantage, because I speak to him about spiritual concepts, and people tell me, I don't even know what you're saying. You're talking too fast. You're using big. This is stuff that I had to. It took me 40 years to learn, and I had to seek out therapists who were fucking capable of giving me the therapy I needed. And now I understand how the brain functions. But when I talk to him about hypervigilance and things like that, I can correlate my experience to his condition, even though I've never lived it. But all of the trauma mechanisms are the same. It's the triggers that are different. That's why people fight over racism and things like that, is because they get triggered by those words, and that's very intentional. That this system does that to keep us in conflict. But when I talk to him, there's no, we're not talking, there's no conflict there. We're talking about the trauma mechanism. That's how I talk to people now. Let's talk, how do you feel? How does that make you feel? And I want to know, because then I can correlate it to my own experience through the brain mechanisms, and then I can spit it back out, and sometimes I can help. And I watch him, like, within a week, like shit that took me years, he's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that with Ray, because and he's calling out his own behavior, then he's adjusting it. Like in the moment, and so what I realize is, like, he doesn't have the blocks that we have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's had to power through life, and it's not even powering from his own words. We think it's powering, but this is just.
Yeah, I always say, try to walk a mile in Jesse's shoes. You know what I'm saying?
He will if you bet him.
Hey, and the journey to 1,000 miles starts with the first step.
You've been making them.
That's my whole thing too. Is like through this whole experience, just having open conversations with people and learning more about yourself. It'll help the other person maybe learn more about themselves that they didn't.
But there was a time though, like it was. I'm telling you, it was silence was golden. Like I was with this one chick that was a therapist, and she couldn't get a peep out of Jesse. He would not. It was trust no one, and he would not talk. And now I had to we really had to unwind. Yeah, it took it was very, very, it took a lot of patience and believing and wisdom and experiences and time. And now Jesse's an open book and I want him to share, and I want my other children to be able to share it too at their time and their moment when their time. There's no pressure. There's no,
thing that I want to address too is like I want to be able to talk about like what I felt like when my dad went to prison and stuff like that. And I'm getting there, you know what I mean? I'm getting there, but it was tough for a while for me to talk to anybody about anything because you know how I was raised, like silence is gold and you don't talk to nobody about nothing. And when I would open up and trust those people, then there would be more problems coming because of that.
Yeah, they would use it against them.
Use it against me. So that's another reason why it was hard for me to open up to people because people would say, "Oh, I got your back. I'm not this or whatever," and then they would do absolute opposite.
Yeah, not everybody.
Not everyone.
But everybody that like turn their like I'm just like. Everybody that like when I got in trouble, like everybody really like turned their back on me.
When I was telling Jesse,
except for Jesse. Jesse was the only one who believed me all the way through it. Like he never ever doubted the iCan.
Even when all this piggy bank?
No. That was it.
He was in on
That was
insurance job.
No, that was Richard. That was Richard. That was Richard. That was your uncle Richard, right? Remember he
fucking stole Jesse's graduation money, and I fucking was gonna fuck out of him, bro. That shit. But it's all funny now. But yeah, dude. Yeah,
that's fucked up.
But
that's real fucked up.
It was really
kind of shit people do when people are. You think. So, like, I've realized, like, I've spent so much of my life just showing how up I could be, right?
Yeah.
And I never really talked about when I was in the down times. I didn't talk about them. I got through them, and then I told the story.
Yeah.
And that's not how life is. It's got to be reciprocal. It's give and take. There's an ebb and flow, and when a motherfucker who's always there, like I've always been the guy you can come to, no matter what. Like if you're in trouble, I'll drop what I'm doing to help you. Like I'm always don't matter who the fuck you are. You know what I mean? It really doesn't fucking matter. That's what I've noticed, and that's what I gravitate towards. Oh, what you got to talk about this? Oh, fuck work. You know what I mean? Like I'll drop it in. And to see when people take advantage of anybody, like It's not even you. It's not that. This is how they feel about themselves. You know what I mean? They're projecting the worst parts of themselves onto you and then attacking when you're down because and they don't know they're doing it. It's subconscious, but they're projecting it onto them and then they attack because it makes them feel good about themselves in the moment to see somebody who is typically up be down, and to see it's been eye-opening. It's been hard not to take it personal. And, you know, I really don't take it personal. I mean, other than the personal things that have happened. Oh, it's so bad, yeah. No. Other than the personal things that have happened. But outside of that, like that, you know, I'm very systematic. And like my gripes, it's not, I'm not over here complaining about it. They're bitches. You know what I mean? I'll fucking, it's going to be.
It's the truth. Like Jesse's song, War Ready.
Yeah.
All I do how's it go? All I
do over here is just stand in the truth. What I do every time when I step in the booth. My name Jesse. I can
War Ready.
I mean,
and you better what?
And they better understand.
And we're coming for you, man.
You're going to be in conflict, and if you stand in truth,
Yeah.
that you're in opposition to this
Yeah.
side.
Oh, yeah.
That song like made me realize like when I made that song made me realize like you don't have to be afraid to say anything to anyone.
And yeah, that was part of you. Yeah.
That was part of the therapy.
Yeah, it really is. And so when we launched this music therapy with, Raising the Bar Detroit, it's, yeah.
To everyone that's going to help us with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like this is where, the people that are like in situations, or I don't want to label any, like Jesse has cerebral palsy, I always say handicap. We use words like that. I always say special needs. It's fucking cerebral palsy, right? But we did open up a little handicaphiphop.com. We're getting ready to drop the website there.
Handicap hip.
Jesse's on Spotify, Handicap Hip, and he's going to start drawing in all of these artists that have something going on, like Gifted Hands, Nubs, Blind Fury. Their music is so like life changing, and we're gonna cultivate all of them. We got a how's it go? We got handicap and handicap, and we're back in the truck.
Yeah. Back in the truck.
Oh, full of handicap. Yeah, we got a truck full of handicap killers, and we bagging it up. Yes, what up? Right, and
but I'm telling
you,
free this.
And no, but we want to start getting doctors to really like understand that the music therapy, instead of using drugs to overcome like some of the things we go through, because it wasn't the music therapy changed my life, right? And it put me on a path of righteousness, and it really started to open up my eyes through the bars and the words, that it did something to my soul. It changed it.
And it too, like when my dad would be cruising the streets or whatever, and I wasn't with him, I'd put on beats, and I would ask God, I'd be like, please bring my dad back. He brought him back to me.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, like music has always been a big part of my life, and it's amazing.
So Jesse, Jesse's been rolling with me since '94, right? Remember, so when we used to roll around when you were like 4, 5, like what were some of your favorite artists?
Dude, Tupac, Stevie Wonder, DMX, Eminem. I got a bunch of.
Stevie Wonder's a hack. No. There's a musical genius. Don't you ever talk about Stevie Wonder like that. Stevie Wonder's a musical genius, goddammit. I've never seen him upon a chair like that. He's a beast.
Yeah, those are a lot of people that, and my dad obviously inspired you.
Thank you, Jesse.
One day I was sitting in the car with my dad, with my boy Jimmy, and
Jimmy. Yeah,
shout out to Jimmy.
Jimmy really helped out a lot.
And I was like 8 years old, and we were rolling around, and we stopped at a gas station, and
Jimmy started freestyling.
Yeah, there was like a DMX beat on, and Jimmy started freestyling to that.
Yeah,
and I was sitting there. I'm like,
that was it.
I'm like, dude, he's not writing nothing.
Yeah,
it's just coming off the top of his brain. And I'm like, dude, if he can do that,
how's he do that?
How's he doing this?
I don't know. You figured it out, though.
I figured it out. I'm telling you.
Yeah, the God codes.
I'm telling you, it was crazy, dude.
It's frequency. You know, that's.
You was chasing the light. The boys that bright.
It was
chasing the light. The boys that bright.
You're trying to steal your fucking.
Oh yeah, I got it.
It's got bored.
I got bored. I just read it over there on the wall. There was some over there that said chasing the light. The boys so
He's jacking the bars, man. But
It is frequency, though. You know what I mean? Like that's what I understand is that, and Tesla said this. He said, if you want to understand God, what God is, or you want to understand what humanity is, you have to start looking at things in terms of frequency. Everything is frequency. So if there is no good or bad, there isn't wrong or right. We perceive it as that. But these are all human definitions. God don't know what the fuck we're talking about, whatever God is. God just knows what we emote. So if we're constantly in this victim mindset, we're giving God victim shit. We're just giving it back. You ask, you shall receive. You know what I mean? God don't speak English, motherfucker. You haven't figured that out? Like, your God is mirrored in the image of you. Like, that's how it is. Like, we all do that. As a human, we project. And we're doing that with God, too. But God is, like, so vast that whatever that is, we can't possibly truly understand what it is. We just have to love it, right? And then we love ourselves because we're part of it. Like, we're all this big fucking, this big tapestry of consciousness. And when you look at somebody like Jesse and you don't make an attempt to understand, when you can help, when you can reach out, or when you, then you, because I think that's part of what you're here for. Like, you can show the world, I have cerebral palsy, but it don't have me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not my condition.
that's why I do everything that I do, to show people that even the people that are in my position that don't believe that they can do something, I don't want to be the one to show them that they can do. So, like, that's why I'm doing everything that I'm doing, because I really feel like I'm a leader for my people.
Well, you are, because
Absolutely.
yeah. When we got handicap hip hop last night, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, there's no way this is available, because people will take any website name that says exactly what it is and is spelled properly, that's gone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it was handicap hip hop, $8, got it last night. So I was blown away. I'm like, well, he owns it. This is his time.
Yeah, we've had the Spotify for a little while now too, and still, and so that
we got everybody up on there, so you guys can go check it out. And when Jake puts his thing out, we're gonna put him on there too. You know what I'm saying?
I know Gary's been like nonstop working. Right back on just grinding it out ever since.
Oh yeah, 20. Well, I've been doing it for so long. 25/8, 366 days a year. That's how we roll. Like, there's
no off button.
Yeah, there's no days off.
Yeah, we don't take those.
Yeah,
I'm taking them for you. They're not days off though. Like,
no.
like I it's funny to watch when you just let people be who they are. Like,
Yeah.
you know that people are in different experiences, and like you can work. That's
what it is letting people be who they are, as long as they're not hurting anybody else. Yeah, yeah.
Seeds when you can,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
don't, when somebody can't take your advice or doesn't want to, why the fuck do you take that offensive?
No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. That's one thing I had to learn too. I used to really get emotionally angry and
Listening to me,
yeah.
you just make everyone's day worse.
It was, and I really don't know when that switch turned off, but it's been quite a while.
The 4 agreements, this is what I tell you, don't take anything personal. One of the best.
Yeah, it's learning how to control your emotions and control your feelings, and not getting, like, watching the other person get like that, and that's not affecting you.
Well, I think we'll always. I think so I don't think, like, when you're Jesus on the cross, when you've transcended the human condition and you're not affected, that's transcendence right there. Like, you can't be seen in this human consciousness. Your frequency is so elevated at that next level of consciousness where you don't do that. Like, so I think it's always a work for us. I think to think that we're ever going to accomplish just this pure serenity, and it's, you know what I mean? You go fucking find that mountain in Tibet, and then somebody's going to try to steal that land from you. You know what I mean? But, like, that's what this is. Like Price said, I'm in it. I'm in this world, but I'm not of it. You know what I mean? And if you can recognize that, then you know that, well, I'm always on the journey. And this journey is,
spiritual beings having
gets me.
a human experience.
Right. It's for me. Like, whatever I'm doing here, like that, and then we're going to be talking to Sean Stone, Oliver Stone's son.
Oh, yeah.
But he's got his own shit. His mind, he talks about how angels, angels revere humans because we choose to come down here and be challenged in this. And that makes absolute sense to me. Now, I don't know what really...
Dude, that would be a great podcast with you and Dave. My boy Dave, Fanny Pack Dave.
Fanny Pack Dave?
Yeah, the redhead. Yeah, he would. Yeah, the alien guy. That would be a fucking great podcast. You and him on the fucking alien fucking human experience.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's all relative. You know what I mean? Like, it's all relative. There's anything that's here is from God. Whatever God is, thank you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, aliens, fucking whatever pops up, whatever we manifest, that's that in our consciousness. That's all of. You know what I mean? So when we try so hard to separate from everything and everybody so that we can feel better about ourselves in the moment. Instant gratification. That's what we do. That's what people fucking do. And we're trained to do it. They learned the psychology of this and they've indoctrinated us. So we perpetuate it and then it doesn't feel right. We all know it doesn't feel right. Like you all have a conscience that tells you that the shit you're doing is wrong when you're doing it. And it's just when, what kind of trauma do we have to experience that to where we get into a place of self-reflection, and that's where I think Jesse's stronger than a lot of people because he's been in that place of self-reflection his whole fucking life. You know what I mean? He's had to deal with this outside stimuli that was shitty on not all the time, but sometimes, and in a way that other people don't, and for no reason because he's smarter than most people that I talk to. You know what I mean? So it's like, what the fuck am I having to do? He could have took that road. What the fuck? This fucking stupid ass world. Fuck. World.
Oh yeah, he's just that. No, he's never, and he never has been, and he never will be.
But fuck you, world. No, that's it.
Yeah,
but that's what
me against the world
all the time, man. It's like to be in this position that I'm in. It gets tough sometimes, but it's actually a blessing because if I wasn't in this position, you know what I'm saying?
Or Marty Sheedy's position. Marty, shout out to Marty. Scissorgate.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Eric Patrick Thomas. Yeah, Mr. Inspire. These are our fucking people. Like our tribe. Yeah, Tony fucking, Wheelchair Tone. Fucking, it's a come together, dog. I feel you.
Crazy, man. Go check that out on YouTube. Look up Jesse, iCan, Sparkman and check.
Dude, when we played that song at Renaissance and we put the gospel behind it with Daisy. Yeah, when we put that, dude, when they hit it with they said that was like I had some guy with the he was a Grammy Award winner and he fucking was. We were working on that. We're gonna resurrect that song too. But when you put the gospel behind that, we all got to go together. Fucking shit was so hard, bro. Yeah, so you guys don't even know what's coming. We're about to fucking just, yeah.
And you're gonna see more of them. We this was impromptu. We see, you can't tell this is a basement, right? Like I put this up, so we're somewhere, but we're this is
I don't really.
We don't give a we don't.
I mean,
like,
dude, I did a fucking one man cell for fucking a long time. All right, and that's what, and those were some of my greatest spiritual moments, or like, but that's what needed to happen for a time as like right now. So, and I've never been Mr. Right. I've always been Mr. Right now with the girls. No, I'm kidding.
Unfortunately, I hate it. The more you transcend the human condition, the more you start to grasp in the moment that I need this, and you're like,
yeah, like your situation, you know what I mean? I already, but a lot of things like I do, right, Vinny? Like I already know what you're going through because guess what? I did it already. Like even with the situation with the gym, I already knew what was going on there. You know why? Because that was fucking me back in 2000.
Yeah.
2002.
That was me 7 years prior.
Yeah, the shit that they were going through to put me to where I'm about to be, like that, like I already went through that, and I tried to show them. It was just like, the story about going down the road and you fucking fall into the pothole, and then the second day you fall into the pothole again, or you go around it and then you jump in.
I've never been my partner. You know what I mean? Like I've never been that fucking like. So I have to try to sympathize with him because he's so deluded. Like it's like he believes. You know what I mean? And when you recognize, you got to stay.
But but what I'm saying is like with you and your children, right?
Oh yeah.
Like what I'm saying is like when I went away, that like just having the faith and to know like that they're going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And I always, because their mom always was like, and they really are, but you also got to have, you know, time to figure out who you are too. And,
Yes.
and then if you give, like with Jesse, like we've got it to where, fuck, an hour or 2 hours of quality time opposed to 14 hours of me just not being there, fucking laying on the couch in bed or whatever, you know. There's a big difference. And so we really have those moments and those, you know, and those are the moments that, you know, are
the relationship I have with my kids now.
Yeah.
There's no you can't purchase that. You can't make it happen. Like what I think what they know, I'm pretty sure what they know. And what I know is that when it's really rough, when the times that we're there for each other, and we're going to tell each other that we're not going to blindside, you know, I'm not going to ever pacify and say, yeah, I don't think you can handle this information, so I'm going to keep it to myself. No, I'm going to tell you, you know, and shout out to their mom too. She stepped up through.
Oh, yeah.
And that's part,
Janice.
that's part of the reason that's because they were so strong, and because she stepped up, I knew that they weren't going to be in harm's way.
That's when,
Go down this path.
Yeah.
So my conditions, that's whatever that is speaking to me. She's got to fight these motherfuckers. Yeah. But you know, she got to a point where she couldn't take it, and she you know, she projected a little bit, and I have to sympathize with that, because it's not this is not, number one, not most people aren't choosing to lose everything. You know, they don't choose to lose it all for a purpose.
No, I did. No, but honestly, I gave everything. I swear to God on everything I love.
That's why we relate.
I gave everything away just to see if I could get it all back based on like all the experiences.
So there's a handful of people like that, like our Polish art. He's one of those people that where he said, "I'm going to stand on my."
Yeah, well, when I had $150,000 and I didn't know how to invest it properly, and I fucking prayed to God, I go, God, just get my girl, and then it was Jesse, and Christina was just born. I go, you better find these guys a house, or I'm going to blow it on strippers and drugs, and it all came together. You know what I mean? But then. Yeah. No, the strippers and drugs still stayed for a little bit. And then, but what I figured out was, no matter, like, that it just, she wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. We had everything, you know, but I just didn't know I just didn't really know who I was. And then
you're in a world who teach.
And then I would and then I'd do everything I could to get everything back for a while. I went down that road, like get the shirt, get the cars, get the clothes, get the watches, get the gold, and
all ego driven.
Yeah. And then I'd go back down to the fucking streets and go, check me out. And then I give it all away again.
How low can I go?
Yeah.
But what I realized and then
I'd end up in jail, and I'm like, all that, and it just became this vicious cycle, and
until you learn,
until
you finally say, oh, I'm supposed to live differently. Like I'm doing the wrong shit over and over again and expecting a different result. Only the ego's tricky, man.
Yeah, it really is. The subconscious is too.
If it senses that it's gonna die, well, the T cells are gonna, you know what I mean, and it's gonna start fighting for its life. And this is when we're here, it gets trickier, you know. So when like my ex, I love her to death, but I knew it wasn't going to work, and it was hard to sit there and just know that she's not going to see past the shit. Like she's not, it's just not going to happen. But that's compassion. So you know what I mean. You still got to stand in your truth, and that's like with these guys they're pissants. You know what I mean. That's me talking ego, but they really don't.
No, I'm not. Like, dude, I'm the captain, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Captain,
I'm the coach. I'm the captain. I'm the leader. I'm the one. I'm the fucking place
to trail. To not hold people like that accountable, to the extent that it doesn't infringe on your well-being. And so I think that's one of the things that are important here is that, well, we got a massive meeting tomorrow. We got huge things. I like that.
Yeah. Oh my God!
There's a fight.
There's a two-part.
That's an easy right to fight for. I won that fight.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Right
Oh, all right.
on the desk.
Yeah.
But you'll see more of these too. You want?
Yeah. Thanks for having us. Human Condition. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
It's always we
I said, hey, you want to be on the podcast in your basement?
Yeah, I love it. And then, just being comfortable being uncomfortable. Like, stretch yourself. Just keep,
And the one thing I want to tell people before we get off here is keep being authentic.
Yeah, authenticity,
Nobody
service,
can be that better than you.
comfortable being uncomfortable, and truths, I
Easier
learned how to,
done, right?
Yeah, learn how to control your cries and smiles.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's when you're winning too.
It's really the key to life. Like they're having it's navigating that space.
I want to give a shout out real quick though too, because there were some other monumental things before we go. Grow Your Business for God's Sake, 2019, August 18th. Glenn Lundy and Danelle and Sharon, Lisa and Brian and Shaka and Lopez. Those were life changing moments for us. Steve Brewster, Steve Brewster, Grant Cardone, Elena, Hank Garland, and then the real Bradley. I don't know where that call came from, but that really set it just planted something in me that really was life changing too, and yeah, so I still got my
Elon Musk.
Yeah, I got my millionaire booklet still. So some when I get there, be putting a handshake with a face of Grant Cardone. So yeah, nah.
Free shout out to Jelly Roll. I dropped that email.
Man.
Shout out to Jelly Roll, man. We're about to do a track, man.
And it's going down. So all right, I'm out. Any questions? Gary's number's been scrolling. That says it's how much you don't give a fuck. Call him. But that's how much he does give a fuck, because it really is service. So
That's bullshit.
Unless it's
Black
good
deal.
bullshit.
Yeah.
And then he only likes the good shit.
You want to look up about the music therapy and talk about the music therapy, hit him up.
And we really are making Macomb the mecca for muscle and music. Music makes the music with muscle. That's our hustle for real.
And
Be steel.
I dropped that little snippet the other day. Because Garry is like me, didn't want to. So I'm going to drop that GoFundMe for Jesse Proof. And
please donate to that so we can freaking get this video popping, because I'm really excited for you guys to see it and freaking.
Yeah, no, this is for you. Really, it's for the people. It really is, and yeah,
and you'll be part of it.
It'll be popping.
There's no doubt.
Sparkman.
He's gonna.
It's going.
Like there's nobody. So there's no doubt that that's happening. It's just we want to make it the best we can when we deliver it.
Yeah, and we want the people to be able to get involved and feel like they've done something to,
Garry typically self-finances this stuff, but still is.
I mean, yeah. Well, no, the music videos we've dropped. God,
That's what I'm saying.
we did Pain to Power. We did New Life. Shout out to Good Money for giving us a studio to do that. Marlon Corlier, Grind to Greatness. Yeah, and then our last one, Damien hooked us up, and I didn't even know Damien Michaels fucking plugged me in with the Bass Brothers, and we did She's All Mine, and that where Shady got his green.
Neil Blaz, what up?
And that was and we used all individuals in that video with cerebral palsy.
Shout out to my boy Marquise, my boy Raymond, Mike.
Ooh, Zach.
Paul Rosenberg. Paulie. You might.
Oh, yeah.
Paul.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what about that? What about Mikey, too? Oh, dang. Yeah. So, can't wait to meet. But
this is
yeah, yeah, fuck. Yeah, it's on and popping, or iCan Sparkman.
iCan.
Don't it feel good to like, there's time, when you get hit with success at a younger age and it's unexpected, there's a lot of negative things that can come along with it. But when you put in the work to know who you are, and that work has dissipated, it made people dissipate from your life that aren't valuable, not that they're not valuable people, but not valuable to the greater good in your life.
Yeah.
You're in a position to really win, like to really do something. Like the money doesn't matter. Then it comes, and then you can do something with it. It's energy that you can put back out into the universe and do good with.
And that's why I'm so.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
That's why I'm so glad that we're on the path that we are on now. Because if we were in a different situation, we might have been different. But now that we're all very connected, we're all doing it together.
Yeah, the three-stranded cord right here. Yeah.
I'm going to sleep right there.
All right.
So, all right. Please, thank you for whoever. I didn't see there's comments, but they're, and I'll get to you. They're going to be around a lot more. Check out Jesse on the. We'll drop those links. You send me all the links and I'll put them on here and you can get acclimated. But that's Jesse Group is fucking. It's going down.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Peace out.